What I really want to focus on is Velma the series. All right, another example of mainstream, somebody from the mainstream, somebody just think they so high and mighty, so important. uh Despite claiming to have loved the property growing up, they saw all these things wrong and figured now they're going to change it. Now they're going to change it. They're going to take the property that we love, they're going to take the fan base along with it, but not do it any justice. Now let's actually check out the trailer for that Velma series, and then we'll go into the Mindy Kaling's response to the backlash to Velma.
Dear HBO Max, I just learned you intend to make a genre-bending comedic origin story of Judy Jetson. When I heard this new version of Judy Jetson wouldn't be boy crazy, the only word I had to describe my disgust is jinkies. If there is one thing the internet agrees.
So this is Velma right now. She is supposed to be speaking as if she's one of us, one of these super critical fans who have issues with things being changed. I have no issue with things being modernized in a way that you respect what came before, you keep the same feeling, you go for the same beats in a way, but you're just changing like with the technology. You're making it more visibly pleasing. You're adding more to the lore, the story that fans will appreciate. You're not changing things about, what came before. You're not saying, okay, I saw these issues, let me fix them. Because if that was the case, then if there were these issues that you find so critical that need to be changed, then you wouldn't even be here claiming that you love the character and you want to do it justice and give your own take on it. But
it's that you should never change anything ever. I hope you die. Sincerely, Velma.
All right. Sincere. I hope you die. Now, I've never said no shit like that. The people who I follow who who critique these changes heavily, we don't say shit like that. We hope you die because our outrage is not focused on the person or individual. It's more so it only happens when they come out and say stuff that like attacks fans, or just we find like some flaws in their arguments of, like I said with Mindy Kaling, you saying you loved it but you need to change so much of it.
Well, at least Judy's still white.
At least Judy's still white. See, this is what I mean. This is the weird meta stuff that doesn't work, because these aren't our arguments. Again, our arguments are changing like key things about the character. But also, if you would know these Hanna-Barbera characters or this property like this, then you will know that Judy Jetson is an actual person in their world. So Velma wouldn't be watching a show or watching content about Judy Jetson because it's an actual person. Now, if you want to be as serious as you claim, take out the talking dog, because it'd be weird or it wouldn't be taken as seriously. Then be serious, hold to that. Don't mention Judy Jetson because she's in the future. These people don't know shit about the Jetsons. So this conversation right now wouldn't even be happening.
Unknown caller. Spooky. Hello? Velma Dinkley speaking.
Hello, Velma. Do you like solving mysteries?
Yeah, but I'm actually much more three-dimensional than that. Who is?
Yeah, but I'm much more three-dimensional than that. So, who cares, Mindy Kaling? Why do you have to say this shit? Why is there so much mindless exposition from the mainstream as opposed to showing without telling? Let's see more of Velma, besides her just being smart. Hell, a pup named Scooby-Doo did it. All right, they kept her the smart one, but they had her doing like inventions and more scientific type stuff, especially to solve the mysteries. Like, that's how you show without telling. You don't have to tell me that you're a great person, you have a wonderful personality, because then like, okay, well, if you can't show it, you got to tell me. Then I really don't, can I trust you? I'm not seeing it.
What is this?
That's the mystery, and solve it quick because I'm in your house.
A serial killer calling from inside my house? Yes, that's a classic, and that's my point. Why change anything when the classics all still work, right?
And she looks at the audience. Now, I guess it's kind of two ways you can take this. Why change anything if the classics still work? Now, if you're talking about horror genre, then you shouldn't change horror. Well, there's so many different like horror movies to where horror, that's, you got supernatural, what's that, paranormal, you got thriller, you got psychological stuff, like, so I don't know what she means by that, as well as there was never a serial killer going after Mystery Inc. or terrorizing the town. These was just dudes that had their own like little selfish little reasons for doing things, but it wasn't serious as somebody actually killing people. So you're saying why change if the classics work, but you just changed everything about Scooby-Doo with this. You're changing everything about Velma with this. She was chasing dudes, scaring people. These kids were not running from mass murderers. Now, in a more mature show, you can do that with Scooby-Doo. I would love to see these kids advance in years, kind of, early 20s, mid 20s, and you see them solving actual issues. Maybe there is a psycho killer, the period of Scooby-Doo movies where the threats were actually real. Like, I would love to see that, but instead of taking that approach, you're giving me this. And another reason, like the politics of it or the message is more important, because I was just telling y'all this, the Scooby-Doo art has been shitty for a while now, and this is just more continued shitty art. Like, damn, Americans already have an issue where our cartoons fucking suck compared to our old cartoons and Japanese cartoons like anime. But it's like they said, as long as we got our message in there, as long as we can blame racism or misogyny, then we don't have to prove ourselves with everything else. We could just deflect criticism. It's terrible to see, y'all. It's terrible.
Wait, you're inside my house?
Wait, you're inside my house? See, a smart ass Velma, I would figure, okay, if you're in a mature show, if you've been doing this or whatnot, and maybe she hasn't at this point, but think about this, people. Velma's so smart that maybe she knows, okay, if we've been going after real threats, then maybe somebody escaped. Maybe they had accomplices. She would have, I would think, smart Velma would have traps around the house, cameras, something to help her get the upper hand on a villain, on a potential threat. But we'll see. Now, again, this is a series starring Velma. But if you see the other characters, Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, in this show, then they're also race swaps, except Fred. But let's go over to that. That was the trailer. All right, that was trash. Sure, it is. But now let's hear some of the reasoning behind this. Let me show y'all this. All right, from People Magazine, or from People Entertainment, whatever, I don't know. Mindy Kaling reacts to backlash surrounding Velma being reimagined as South Asian in new series. I think the vast majority of people are excited and ready for it, and the show is for them, Mindy Kaling said of the iconic character being of South Asian descent in her new HBO Max series, Velma. So this is, what would you say, executive producer or something? I don't know titles, but she's also the voice of Velma. And she's making this character look like her, South Asian, dark. Well, not dark, but brown. But why is Velma so fucking dark compared to her? But anyway, Mindy Kaling is speaking out about the backlash over the reimagining of Scooby-Doo's Velma in an upcoming spin-off series. At New York Comic Con on Thursday, Kaling, who serves as an executive producer and voices the titular character on HBO Max's Velma, responded to the criticism of the iconic character now being of South Asian descent. The Mindy Project star, 43, admitted that she is constantly surprised by reactions to everything on social media, per Insider. I haven't seen the Mindy Project. I guess this, I don't know, personal show of hers about her life or something. I don't know, but I think of the characters in this as so iconic, but in no way is the gang defined by their whiteness, except for Fred. She explained. Now that's very important. That's interesting to me because I'm pretty sure if she's saying no character is defined by their whiteness, what did Fred do that was exclusively white that makes you say we're going to keep him white and change everybody else? Unless in a mature show you're going to focus on Fred's whiteness and make him dumb, or you're going to be able to get away with he's the jock dude that's always trying to get in girls' draws, probably have RAPE allegations against him. I feel like she's going to go more of that route with Fred in this show, and that's why she had to keep him white, because we can't say anything negative about the other characters, the other races, but we can. It's just free game. We just, it's white people season.
Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Fire.
So that's what I feel like she's going for with this show, and it's disgusting to see. But let's keep going. So I was a little bit surprised, and I think most Indian American girls, when they see this skeptical, hardworking, kind of underappreciated character, can identify with her. Now with this, why is Mindy Kaling leaning so far into these stereotypes? You mean to tell me that most Indian American girls can identify with this one character? And I'm gonna say this, in her show Never Have I Ever, which they're going to talk about in a minute, there's her main character Davy has a cousin who was fine.
Don't be rude to your beautiful cousin.
I'm not that beautiful.
Sorry, are you a model?
Oh, thank you so much. No, I'm a biologist. I could never be a model. I'm too curvaceous.
She's fine, but she's smart as well. And she's South Asian. So why can't, wouldn't the fine South Asian women identify with Daphne? She wasn't dumb, so she was smart. She contributed to the team and she looked good. What about those? What about these South Asian dudes that get high and like dogs? They couldn't identify with fucking Shaggy. In Never Have I Ever, she had a South Asian character who was a jock and smart, which sounds like Fred. Fred probably wasn't book smart, but he always came up with the contraptions or the traps to catch the villain, to catch the masked caper. But he had a build like he was a jock, like he played football or something as well. So can South Asian, can Indian American people not associate with him? What about the South Asian or the Indian American furries? I'm sure they can identify with Scooby-Doo if they claim to be dogs. Where they represent, why he can't be in here for them? When you're trying to please a certain group, you end up just shitting on everybody else or disrespecting everybody else at the same time. So just don't do it. Just focus on the story. I think the vast majority of people are excited and ready for it, and the show is for them, she added. So this is for anybody who likes it. The Office alum revealed the new animated series will also address Velma having unresolved sexual tension with a lot of characters. So she's just out here just trying to fuck everybody. Okay, all right. So this person in her real life couldn't get no sex, so now she gonna make Velma have all the sex. And I didn't see The Office, but a lot of people like her from The Office. So, this person is talented. This journey of self-discovery for her is something that really drew us to this project and this character, she said. So we want to honor other interpretations and what we think feels really modern. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. In July 2021, Kaling opened up about fans' initial reaction to finding out Velma would be reimagined for the show. When it was announced that I was going to do the voice of Velma, people were very supportive and happy on Twitter, Kaling said during an appearance on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Because she has a voice that possibly would do well at voice acting. She's a comedian, so it's not far off. People are fine with you being the voice of a white character or slightly brown, like a little tan, possibly Asian character, and you being dark. People are fine with voice actors not looking shit like the actual characters that they're portraying. That's fine. But when you take that character and you make them you, and they weren't that before, now you're doing a disservice to the actual fans. Oh, as well as shitting on them in your promotional material or trailer. But, you know, I would think they knew that. So I felt great because these are really intense fans, cartoon, comic book fans. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. However, the Never Have I Ever creator added that when HBO Max revealed that the character would be of South Asian descent, the reception was not as positive. People were not happy, Kaylin said. There was a lot of "so not Velma," those kinds of tweets, not the classic Velma that I'm always thinking about. First of all, I didn't know that she elicited such strong reactions in either direction. She continued, so you love the character and you didn't think other people loved that character enough. She probably wasn't the hot girl on the squad, but she was still the book smart one. Everybody has their role in Scooby-Doo. Now, Daphne was just kind of there sometimes, but she can at least be in on the conversation trying to figure out who it is and bring another intelligent point of view as opposed to Shaggy. So you had Daphne, Fred, and Velma who was actually figuring out the logistics of the mystery, while you had Shaggy and Scooby, who Scooby would use his dog, senses to sniff stuff out, to track, he would hear different things, he would alert them for certain stuff. And then Shaggy was the do boy. All right, we're gonna make Shaggy and Scooby distract the villain, or we're gonna get Shaggy to risk life and limb trying to get into this abandoned building that we're not supposed to be in. Everybody had their roles. So although she probably wasn't a fan favorite, she's integral to Mystery Inc. But also, if you didn't know she elicited such strong reactions, well, you love the character. You just said all these South Indian or Indian American girls could identify with this character. So where's the confusion now? Or why is the confusion here now? She's such a great character. She's so smart, and I just couldn't understand how people couldn't imagine a really smart, nerdy girl with terrible eyesight who loved to solve mysteries. Could not be Indian. There are Indian nerds. Yes, there are. But also, Mindy Kaling, you've already created Never Have I Ever. Now, was it the white lady who worked on it with you that actually made it interesting? And you just focused on the Indian stuff? I don't know. I don't know their work dynamic. But why not create a fucking show about a South Asian brown woman that's smart and solve mysteries? Mindy's Mysteries. Other celebrities have put themselves into projects, animation or books or something. And that would have been fine. It would have been fine. You probably would have had a niche audience or a smaller audience compared to everybody being a target audience, anybody who's just willing to enjoy it. But no, you're going to take Velma and make her you. Hell, Andre 3000. I remember he had a cartoon when I was growing up. Like, bro, it's been done. It's been done. There's also a show called Martin Mysteries that came on when I was a kid. And because of Martin Mysteries, so I was like, okay, is this a bootleg Scooby-Doo? It was his own thing. They tackled more paranormal mysteries, but still, you can have your mystery solving, like that genre sells. But you didn't believe in yourself or your own creative juices enough to make your own thing, that you just had to hijack Velma from Scooby-Doo. It shouldn't be a surprise to people, but people are like, no, she added. Though the actress noted that the negative reactions came from a small percentage of people, she said the backlash took her by surprise because we're trying to preserve our culture. Not saying it can't be adapted, modernized, and whatever, but not in the way that these people mean it. It made me think, okay, we've got to be really careful with this character, which we will be because we love her and she's going to have great adventures. She said she's going to have great adventures. Aside from Kaling's upcoming series on the Brainiac Detective, the iconic character initially made headlines this week after a clip from the new animated movie Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo confirmed her LGBTQ identity. Velma is set to premiere on HBO Max. And all right. So I've been going off. I've been ranting. I didn't even expect to take this long on a Scooby-Doo video or really having to fucking prove these points or go this hard. But anyway, it's just another case of we're going to take your property because it has a fan base. A lot of people will be watching. The name itself will get people paying attention. And because of that, we can say, oh, this many people tuned in. This many people watched the premiere of this. And while the project itself suffers, now again, Scooby-Doo has been suffering for the past damn near a decade now, honestly. But now it's not Scooby-Doo sucking because it sucks. Now it's sucking because of the enforcing or the infusing of our real world social identity politics. And in this quest to combat racism, it seems like some of the most racist moves are made. Now, the movie, the Scooby-Doo live action movie, Daphne did take more of a martial arts route, or she learned martial arts because she was like, I don't want to be the damsel in distress. She was a reporter, or she had a news show, or she had a TV show in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, where again, she's not dumb. She can hold herself in a conversation. She's socially intelligent, and competent and beautiful at the same time. So that's something of itself that she adds to the team. Fred, again, he's ingenious with the contraptions and trapping a dude. Like, he's the reason that Velma is able to pull the mask off of, or whoever pulls the mask off of the dude, because we've just trapped the guy. Shaggy and Scooby. Scooby with his senses, Shaggy with his athleticism, and willing to be there for his teammates and do what's best for the whole squad. Velma with her book sense, her intelligence, able to look at different chemicals being left at like crime scenes, her tracking abilities, the research that she'll do online about the place they're at, the myth around the character, the villain, the specter that they're going after. Everybody was integral for Scooby-Doo's Mystery Inc., or for Mystery Inc. to work as a greased unit or a greased machine. So to take one of those out is, again, it's just like, why just make up a show of brown girls solving mysteries? But man, I think I ranted enough on Scooby-Doo. These people don't care. I'm showing you how they don't care, or I'm just doing my service to show y'all how they don't care, and they will gladly take the franchises that we love and push whatever agenda in them. Again, that Scooby-Doo Trick or Treat thing, is that a kid's movie or is that an adult movie at the same? But yeah, how do you fight racism with racism? By making Velma, which just like her character Davy, is just, I'm just smart and I want sex real bad. Those are her South Asian characters. Daphne is Asian now, so although they start introducing her into being a martial artist, to not be a damsel distress in What's New Scooby-Doo and in the movie, now she has to be Asian while doing so, because only Asians know martial arts. Fred, You look at him, big eyes. He just look dumb. So he's just gonna be the dumb blonde dude that don't know anything, but I guess tries to mansplain, toxic masculine, whatever. And Shaggy is black. So the stoner dude who is his only asset is his ability to run fast and jump high. and he gets high. he's high while jumping. That is our Norville Rogers. That is Shaggy. Probably didn't put Scooby-Doo in the show because you figured the black dude would just throw him in a dog fighting ring. Yeah, but it's crazy how the most racist shit fights racism. But that's all for this video, people. Go ahead and leave me a like or a dislike. Be true to yourself. If those buttons are not enough, leave me a comment down below. Tell me how you really feeling. Are you excited for Velma? Do you love Scooby-Doo? Do you hate what they're doing to Velma and everybody else? But you know, is it weird that once you Google Velma, apparently confetti drops down and gay flags and pride flags and shit or whatnot? Tell me about it. Y'all know I react. I enjoy the conversation. And if you find any value in my opinion whatsoever, you want to hear more of my thoughts, I appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
So I'm not sure I get you.
Give me a real fight.
Any of you guys read that chapter in The Art of War about misdirection?